What does Biden's executive order about crypto mean for the cryptocurrency market? What is going on in Ukraine? How is that going to affect cryptocurrency? There has been an abundance amount of stuff going on in the markets right now. We need to address these topics, my opinions, my thoughts, some data, and what overall has been going on in the crypto space. Before we dive into this slideshow presentation, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. It's so imperative. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure to leave a comment down below. What's going on? What are your opinions? How are the markets going to react to this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Furthermore, let's dive into this right now, brothers. All right, so the first thing we need to address is what we were talking about before. Biden believes Putin has decided to attack Ukraine in the coming days. Now, a lot of people are stating that this is not going to occur until the Olympics is over. Now, today is February 20th, 2022, and this is about the time at which the Olympics is coming to an end. I believe it actually ends today. But President Joe Biden said Friday that the United States believes that Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to carry out an attack on Ukraine in the coming days. The Biden administration has previously declined to predict Putin's playbook, even as Russia has deployed nearly half of its military to Ukraine's borders. So that's something to keep in mind. How's this going to affect crypto? What else is going on? Let's dive into it. So this came out February 18th, 2 days ago. Russia now has over 150,000 troops near Ukraine, U.S. officials say, amid reports of more attacks. And the Fed, in the midst of all of this uncertainty and fear that's occurring, the Fed approves rules banning its officials from trading stocks, bonds, and also cryptocurrency. So, what has been going on in the equities market? We know there's been some pain in the equities market. The stock market has been very fearful. We know that rates are going to be increased the highest and that since the past 40 years. I believe they want to do a 50-point basis point, so half a percentage coming in March. We know that there's all-time high inflation. Consumer price index came at around 7.5%, the highest in 40 years. We know that there's Russian tensions. And we know that the price of goods and services, and especially oil and gas, have also been increasing immensely. So, with all of this stuff occurring in the market, there's a lot to take into consideration. Now, this is why I say it's always imperative to keep some cash on the side to stay up to date with what the markets are doing. So, this headline says stock futures are flat after Dow suffers its worst day of the year. Again, the equities market has been in quite some pain, and I don't really think it's actually priced in the fact that the rate hike is actually going to be so substantial. So, as far as crypto goes right now, the fear and greed index is around 30, and this was on February 18th, so I believe since then it's actually dropped because there's been a little bit of pain in the cryptocurrency markets. And if you've watched our video we just posted not too long ago, preparing for the coming recession in 2022, make sure to check that out, how you can actually get ahead and how you can prosper and get ready for what's coming. So, what else is going on in crypto? So as far as what's going on with the law and what's going on with crypto, under this executive order, the Financial Stability Oversight Council would study financial stability issues resulting from the introduction of cryptocurrencies. The Security and Exchange Commission, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Federal Reserve, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and Office of the Comptroller of Currency will consider measures to protect the markets and will report to the president on methods to mitigate risks with respect to the cryptocurrency market. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Federal Trade Commission, and Office of Attorney General will study the impact of digital assets on market competition. The director and chair of the first two agencies, respectively, will review privacy concerns for the space. So, what is my opinion? How is this actually going to affect markets with everything that's also going on with the world? So, I look at this two ways. If this meeting goes well and everything prospers, I think cryptocurrency will continue to do a lot better. However, you need to keep in mind that there's also still a lot of fear and a lot of tensions. And with the rate hikes going up, people are not going to want to leverage as much because they're going to have to take out higher interest rates on their loans. And not to mention, you have to understand in cryptocurrency, there's a lot of liquidations that occur. So once we get below certain marks, 37,000, 40,000, 40,600, there's a lot of liquidations. Now, when I say liquidations, there's a lot of people in cryptocurrency that are not very intelligent investors, and they use an abundant amount of leverage. So when that leverage gets broken and they have to repay the loan, they automatically get what's called liquidated out of the market. And when they get liquidated, they have to instantly pay back the money that they took out as the loan in cryptocurrency. So there's one thing that's something also to keep in mind it really is going to depend on how this works. Now, another positive outlook that you could actually decipher from this information is that if they pass it and the law and everything goes well, then they can actually implement ETFs, which is what Bitcoin and Ethereum has been waiting for a long time, to actually be able to be bought in people's equity accounts or directly in a Roth or whatever it may be. Having an ETF is very important, and we actually dived into some slideshows of how an ETF of Bitcoin and Ethereum would be directed as its correlation to silver and gold when those ETFs came out. So that's some important information to keep in mind. That is what's going on and the order that is taking place in the coming weeks. So again, Biden's expected to issue executive order on crypto and CBDCs next week. Report, both President Barack Obama and the previous administration issued executive orders related to digital assets. They're trying to figure out how it all works, how they need to take advantage of this. Again, the market's been growing at a rapid rate. It's growing at a very substantial rate, which we're also going to be diving into in the next slideshow compared to the internet. This is why it's so important to keep in mind and stay up to date, because I really do think a lot of people are going to achieve pretty much wealth-changing ROI from cryptocurrency in general in the coming years, because I think in the next decade or so, it's going to completely disrupt the marketplace. People have no idea what's going to occur. It's like the internet, but only for money, and it's being adopted at that much quicker of a rate. So, Michael Saylor says, clear crypto regulations would speed institutional adoption. This is what I was just talking about before with maybe ETFs and other things. But additionally, regulatory clarity from the Biden administration is going to benefit Bitcoin and accelerate institutional adoption of that asset. Again, this is Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, and he owns 125,051 Bitcoins. So that's also interesting. Now, what I was just talking about before, what is the internet adoption rate versus Bitcoin price? So if you see right here, Bitcoin price and internet rate of adoption, you can see that just over time, Bitcoin is just continuing to get that internet adoption, and it's growing at quite a substantial rate over time. Now here's another example right here. This is showing Apple compared to Bitcoin and its price and where it's been headed, and the network ratio index, compared to other indexes at like Apple's. So that's also interesting. Now, what else is happening? Okay, we have more internet adoption. We have more regulation coming. It could be good. It could be bad. We have a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. We know crypto's the future, but we're kind of waiting for a right entry maybe, or maybe we're in it, just dibble-dabbling around, starting to master the space. What is actually going on with companies? So if you look, this is the number of 13F SEC files mentioning Bitcoin by quarter, and if you look right here over time, this is substantially increased as well. So there's more companies that are starting to mention Bitcoin and actually get it on their balance sheet and get involved in the cryptocurrency space. Now, something that's also interesting is Ukraine legalized Bitcoin. So this didn't happen too long ago. The country's parliament backed in final reading an updated bill to legalize Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So I found that pretty interesting. Now, as far as the adoption, Ukraine legalizing it, what we just talked about, the rate of adoption, companies, what is happening with it on exchanges? Now, as we addressed a multitude of times, we know that the less Bitcoin that's actually on exchanges is positive, because then they cannot sell, and they're normally in a cold wallet or stored on the keys. So there's actually at a 3-year low right now. So that's also very bullish information. So this is, some important information to keep in mind. A regulation could be good or bad depending what happens. Michael Saylor thinks it's going to be good for the marketplace. We'll have ETFs that will be approved, and there'll be more clarity around it, so that could be good for the marketplace. But with all that being said, this is not financial advice, financial education, and be pretty cautious in the current marketplace when there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. I do believe we were in sort of a bubble right now, and it's only a matter before that bubble does pop, but exposing yourself to some assets is a good idea, and keeping some cash on the side is also important as well. If you've not already done so, make sure to check out our other content at Brotherhood Finance. We have a video that we just posted about the top 5 credit cards that are going to be coming out, so make sure you dive into that, and that's for the beginners of 2022. Building credit's also imperative. It's important that you keep in mind, how to master investing and all that. So we have a lot of content coming out. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this video, what's going on with the regulation, what's going on with Russia and the tensions. I think it's possible. I think a war could break out, but time will tell. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I appreciate watching this far through the video. Thank you very much. Make sure to leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, check us out at brotherhoodfinance.com. I appreciate it as always. Have a good rest of your day. Much love. Peace.